welcome to Today in Woburn. I'm your host, Samantha Stone, and I am excited today because we're going to talk to a whole bunch of people about a whole bunch of things happening across the city. We've got lots of good things happening. We're going to celebrate a little excitement around Fashion Week. We're going to talk about an awesome program that Council of Social Concerns doing. We're going to talk about a great opportunity for you to volunteer in the city and help out those who could use a little assist. And of course, as always, we're going to start with Mayor Concannon. Welcome, Mike.
Hi, Samantha. How are you? I'm not the one who's talking about Fashion Week, am I?
No, but now I have a new challenge for you to figure out. I love it.
I can talk about a lot of things, but I can't talk about that.
It's all right. Kat, who will be joining us shortly, will take care of that for us. I love it. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on. I know we've talked in the past, you wanted to make sure that we create opportunities for residents to get engaged in city governance, and boards are one of the ways that we do that. We've talked a little bit about in the past how you're thinking about filling board seats and solicited interest from folks. We do have some folks who have been selected and sworn in, and I thought maybe you could just give a quick update on one or two of those folks who folks we should celebrate together.
Sure. So to your point, the city has many opportunities for residents to participate in their city government through our boards and commissions. As I've said in the past, if people go onto the City of Woburn website and do a search of boards and commissions, they'll see the list. I've asked that they take a look at the ones that are highlighted in red as currently expired or holdover appointments. And if they are interested in serving in one of those positions, please let us know here at City Hall. We have had several people do that. And to your point, most recently, we made an appointment to the Conservation Commission. We had a young gentleman who was on the commission who ended up leaving to take a job with the state. Their gain was our loss, but we did not want to see that seat remain vacant for long. So in consultation with the conservation administrator and the chairman of the commission, we interviewed a person who had expressed a strong interest, found that person to be a great fit. And as a result, Jim Joyce was sworn into the commission last week. He was able to sit at their meeting last Thursday night. And I'm very confident that he's going to be a great fit here in Woburn. I've also had others requesting consideration for certain positions, and I've gone through a process of meeting with a few of them, talking with the other members of the boards where they may be sitting to make sure that they understand what they're in for, and again, to make sure it's a good fit. So that work is continuing. I'll be sending down a few more nominations to the City Council for their February 6th meeting. Some of the boards and commissions require council confirmation, others don't. That actually is spelled out on the website, so you could take a look at that if you're interested. But as I say, on the Tuesday, February 6th City Council agenda, you'll see some proposed appointments where I'm asking for the council to give them consideration. They usually set up an interview process, and hopefully those folks are confirmed and can be seated rather quickly. So yeah, that process is continuing. I'm encouraging folks to continue to peruse that list, reach out to me with their interest, and we want to get all these positions filled with people who want to help.
I love it. Thank you for that update. While we're talking about open positions, there are some positions in city governance directly as employees that we're actively recruiting for, some of which have been recruited for a little while. Some might be newer in the process. Tell us a little bit about some of the ones that are, really important priorities for us.
Sure. So it's fairly customary when there's a change in administration for there to be some changes. In this case, there's been a couple of folks who have come to me and expressed their desire essentially to just retire. They've put their time in. They've been great servants, public servants here in the city, long-time department heads. And I think at this point, they just prefer to go enjoy their life. And I can't fault them for that. I thank them for their service. I appreciate that they've been willing to stick around long enough so there can be a transition. And we're working on that now. In particular, I would say we have the city's planning director, Tina Cassidy. She's been with us probably almost a decade now. She's done great work, and she's just ready to go enjoy life. So she gave me enough notice that I've got something in the works now, trying to fill the position of planning director. Hopefully we get that down to the council in the next couple of weeks. And she has agreed to stick around for a transition, which I appreciate. Secondly, we have the city solicitor, the city's lawyer, Ellen Callahan-Doucette, who's helped the city for many, many years. And again, the same situation. She's ready to go enjoy her life. And again, we don't fault her. We wish her the very best. We thank her for her service. And we appreciate that she too is willing to stick around for a transition period. I've got a couple of folks that I've been talking to about possibly filling that position. And we hope to have that nomination before the city council, within the next few weeks as well. Those are probably the two main ones. There's a couple of other people who have threatened that they're ready to go enjoy their retirement, and we've been asking them to stick around a little bit longer. And so far they've agreed. The goal here is not to have any gaps, to make sure that there's a seamless transition between the current placeholder and then the folks who are going to take over. And as I say, so far, all of our department heads have been terrific. And those who are wanting to leave have been gracious and willing to help us so that we don't miss a beat. So we're in pretty good shape there.
That's great and super important. We're going to talk a little bit about some tax rate stuff and some, I think, what's relatively good news for us as a community. But before we do that, I just want to talk about some of your experiences. You've been out attending some of the mayoral regional events and conferences and stuff as our new mayor, and had a chance to talk with mayors in other communities. What are some of the things that you've taken away from those discussions?
So during the transition period, I was able to attend a couple of conferences with the newly elected mayors. There's probably about 10 of us across the state. There was an event at Holy Cross. The Mass Municipal Association did one. So there've been a couple of events. In each of those, we had some more senior and seasoned mayors present, offering suggestions and tips. Points of contact if any questions arise. Very, very helpful. I've appreciated it. I've met my newer, the newer mayors across the state. And in addition to that, the Mass Municipal Association had their annual meeting this past week ago, Friday, Saturday, where there were some presentations, there were some breakout sessions and work sessions where some of the changes in municipal government were highlighted. We got some FaceTime with the two U.S. senators from Massachusetts, Senator Markey and Senator Warren. Had some very good time with the governor and lieutenant governor, where they were able to share their priorities and let us know what we could expect to see in this upcoming budget. All very helpful. What I will say is that most of the cities are dealing with the same issues Woburn is. We have, we're in the people business, and so we have people issues. As I mentioned a second ago, retaining staff, hiring staff, making sure we can pay what's required to get top-notch talent. All cities and towns are dealing with those issues. The state as an entity was trending in a great direction in terms of revenues, and then the last 6 months or so, we've leveled off and begun to decline. Such state had to institute what they call 9C cuts, adjusting the budget downward for the current fiscal year, and obviously sending a signal that coming up in fiscal year 25, we should expect a leveling off at best, and perhaps even a decline in available revenue coming back from the state. So I would say that the conversations I've had with other mayors across the Commonwealth, they're dealing with the same issues we're dealing with. It's always going to come down to finances. Everyone wants the same. Everyone wants to be able to deliver the highest level of services they can to their community, but also maintain the lowest tax rate they can to keep these communities affordable. So very similar experiences with each of these mayors. and town managers. It's somewhat comforting to know that we're all in the same boat. We're not facing this alone, and there are resources that we can reach out to bounce ideas off and questions to get us through any tough times we may face.
That's great. Well, you made a perfect transition, whether you planned it or not. Let's talk about tax rates. One of the things is just went live on the city website today, and is a comparison of Woburn's tax rates, both business and residential rates, compared to neighboring communities. So cities that are right adjacent to us. And it's a relatively positive outlook. We've done a really nice job of staying competitive. Tell us a little bit about why that's been so important to us and sort of your goals as we move forward and trying to find those right balances and what we've been able to do this year.
Right. So obviously the tax rate is critically important to any community. Woburn has historically had a low tax rate, and that's our intention to keep it low. We have a unique situation here where we're located right along 95 and 93. A lot of businesses would like to locate in Woburn. And the benefit of that to the residents is that we're able to use tax classification to shift the overall tax burden more heavily towards the commercial industrial. So there is that balance we're always striking where we want new growth. We want more businesses in Woburn because they help to offset that residential tax rate. But we don't want to get so burdensome with our commercial tax rate that we're scaring people away and we have vacant buildings and, that burden has to be shifted back towards residential. So the comps that you're talking about, when compared to Billerica, Burlington, Lexington, Reading, Stoneham, Winchester, Wilmington, we have a very strong residential tax rate, the lowest of all those communities. Commercial is one of the lowest. And the goal is to keep that balance going forward so that Woburn is affordable and desirable, not just for the residents, but for those who have businesses here, such that they want to continue to operate in Woburn, and we get the benefit of this shared tax burden. The increase over the average, the tax bill increase from the prior year was $78. That's on average. That's a pretty good number. Obviously in a perfect world, it wouldn't go up at all, but with the average single family assessed value going up, you're going to have that. That's just the way it is. But going forward, our goal would be to continue to maintain the highest level of services that folks are accustomed to and want to see continue, but also make sure that we're providing, I would say a reasonable level of service that our departments require in the year 2024. It's no secret we've been lean for a while. You can only be this lean for so long before you start to see some impacts. So we're very cautious about that. So those are the guideposts, I guess, we have in mind as we approach the preparation of the FY25 budget. High services, low taxes, balance between residential and commercial, and being honest and open with the services that we know we need. So that's the approach we're taking as we head into budget season.
Thank you for that update. And, just by point of comparison, I do encourage people to go to the website and look at the chart, but there are, the average single family increase, and again, it's an average, we know it'll be a little bit different for each person, is $78. The surrounding communities range from $250 up to almost $1,000. So it's a significant decision that the city has done to keep us with that fine balance. So thank you as always for touching base with us and transparently communicating with us as residents about what's going on. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Samantha. I appreciate the opportunity.
Great. Next up, we're going to talk about a great volunteer opportunity for those of you who don't mind the cold too much. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us from Social Capital.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Samantha.
So Mother Nature has reminded us that we are New England and it really is winter. And we have to do a little bit of snow shoveling these days. Tell us a little bit about the volunteer program that Social Capital's been running for a number of years now.
Sure, yeah. So our volunteers can expect to be matched with a senior closest to them. They'll then receive a housing assignment, which will contain their senior's name, address, contact information, as well as details on what specifically to shovel, whether it be their walkway, driveway, combination of both, etc. And then within a few days prior to snowfall, I will contact them with instructions on when they should shovel.
Yeah, thank you for that. So, just as a way of premise for folks who might not be familiar, this is really a program designed to help some of our senior residents who can't afford services and can't shovel and clear driveways and walkways on their own. It's a great program that's been around for a long time. One of the common questions I think people ask is, I'd love to help, but it makes me nervous to sign up to commit to every storm. We don't know always when they're going to come. So tell us a little bit about how the program works. I think people have two options, if I remember correctly, how they can sign up.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So they have the option of either being on call for a local Woburn senior in their area, or they can agree to stay on as a long winter commitment and be paired with the senior throughout the season.
So in the first storm that we had, which was sort of the first of the season, a friend of mine and her daughter shoveled, and I touched base with her after. I said, "Thank you for doing me the favor and helping us help that senior." But I was curious what her experience was like, and even before I could reach out to her, she called and contacted me and let me know what a wonderful experience it was for her and her daughter to do this together. What kind of feedback do you typically get from volunteers?
No, yeah, I'm really happy to hear that. That makes me really happy. As of now, there's just been a lot of gratitude being expressed from both sides, from our volunteers, from our seniors. I know that our students have really appreciated getting their yes hours this way. And yeah, they've just said it's been a really fulfilling way to be an active member of the community.
That's great. Now, I know the Senior Center collaborates with Social Capital to identify folks who might need help. For folks who are interested in volunteering, where can they sign up?
Sure. So for the seniors and the folks volunteering, they can sign up through my email, which is skramer@socialcapitalinc.org, or they can access the SCI website, which is sciwoburn.org.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us and reminding us of this opportunity. I know it is a little bit of work and it is physical work, so we certainly recognize that not everyone could be matched up, but we're super grateful for the folks who are willing to get out there and get an extra driveway and walkway and help out, whether it's for one or two storms or on a more regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. I'm going to switch gears now and I'm going to welcome Kat to the show. We're going to talk about Fashion Week.
Hi.
I'm so excited to see you back again. As many of you know who've watched the show in the past, Kat is my hairstylist, and I haven't seen much of her lately as my hair's just been growing back, as all of you know. So I'm thrilled to see your smiling face. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, you look fantastic.
Thank you. Used to it. So I'm just grateful it didn't all grow back gray, which is I thought what might happen. Although that would be a look too. We'd go in with it. Sorry,
Mike, totally rock
Mike.
it.
You guys can't see Mike on the screen like I can, and he's questioning why white is a bad thing. That's gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So, Kat, tell us a little bit about what's happening at Fashion Week. It's such an honor to have you representing the Paul Kenneth Salon, but also us in Woburn in general there.
Oh my goodness, I feel so blessed. Yes, I had been reached out upon by a fellow Matrix colleague of mine. I'm also an educator with the brand Matrix. They reached out to me and asked to be on their design team for Fashion Week this year in New York. I'm thrilled, over the moon. So obviously Paul Kenneth is super proud to send me off. I leave a week from today. I am there the 5th through the 12th. And the actual show dates are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm super, super excited.
So I just have this picture of pure chaos happening during Fashion Week, like people putting things on and changing makeup and doing hair and just all kinds of things. I'm sure it's a little bit more organized than I picture in my head, but tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward to doing and what the experience is really going to be like.
Yeah, so I thrive off the chaos. I'm super stoked for the chaos. I've been blessed to be prepped with photo shoots over the years and stage work, so I don't really feel like nervous in regards to the chaos and all that with the hair. I'm very excited. There's going to be a lot of social aspects that I'm not used to, dinner parties and things like that, meet and greets. So I'm really looking forward to that, but that's where I'm going to be more out of my element. I'm so ready to do some runway hair.
I love it. Well, I hope when you get back, you'll share some pictures with us about the incredible work you did. Thank you for letting us celebrate with you and representing Woburn in New York.
Of course, I'll make sure to give you the information on where you can follow on Instagram if you want to follow live. I obviously can't give too much detail prior to the event. I did join a competition while I'm there, so I'm gonna put myself out there with that, and the winner to that gets Paris Fashion Week, as well as some print photos and stuff. So fingers crossed, pray for me, think about me, but I'm gonna enter that and I'm really excited about it.
Oh, that's so much fun. Absolutely. We'll make sure to put the Instagram tag and everything on the screen. Our producer, Jen and Lauren, do an awesome job of that. And good luck. We can't wait to hear all about how it went.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Excellent. Before we wrap up today, we want to talk about some different kind of good work. Jessie and Amanda from the Council of Social Concern are joining us today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I'm thrilled that you're both with me today. Council of Social Concern does incredible work. One of the programs that I think many of us maybe know about, but I didn't realize was supported by Council of Social Concern is the backpack program. And Jessie, why don't you tell us a little bit about what that is and how important it is to our community?
So our food pantry has a partnership with the Woburn Public Schools, where we provide backpacks every single week for students in the elementary schools. We fill an average of 55 backpacks a week with snacks, juice boxes, and quick ready-to-make meals, such as mac and cheese, pastas, things like that. And the students are able to take the backpacks home every Friday and then return them empty on Monday. They come back to our food pantry and our volunteers fill them up every Thursday, again, to go back out to the schools.
Thank you for doing it. It's a wonderful way to make sure. I mean, breakfast and lunch at school is sometimes, primary meals for folks. So when they're not in school, making sure they have this infrastructure to support it is really very much appreciated. I am so grateful. I think you mentioned about 55 on average. Are there special donations or time of year that the pantry is low on items that go into those backpacks, things you want us to think about in terms of folks who might want to be donating things to participate in that effort?
Because the program isn't as well known, those items don't generally come in, so we purchase the majority of those items. They are, the multi-packs. So like Cheez-Its, single serving Cheez-Its, whether like the muffins, applesauce, the mac and cheese, things like that are items that go into the backpacks. Because it's such an important program and we sustain most of it from our budget, we are going to start targeting some very backpack program specific food drives in order to be able to help fill those every single week.
That's great. So I think a couple of things I heard that are takeaways if you're looking to support this program with donations is things that don't require, really stove or, cooking, things that kids can serve themselves with relatively little assistance, and also things that are non-perishable, so they can go home in a backpack and be available for 2-3 days over the weekend and help support them during those times, or sometimes not just a weekend, sometimes it's over a holiday break or something like that. So thank you for letting us know about those opportunities to do that and encourage people to make those types of donations.
Thank you very much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Amanda, one of the big fundraisers that happens every year is around a telethon. Tell us a little bit about the goals for this year's.
Yes, so the telethon's coming up this Sunday, February 4th, right here on WPMC from 12 to 3, where our goal is to raise $20,000 towards our program. including the backpack program and the food pantry. So we have local community members come on in support of the agency, and we're looking forward to it.
That's great. So can you give us a little sneak peek about some of the folks who might be coming on during the telethon?
Yes, well, Mayor Concannon will be there. We'll have some former board members of Woburn Historical Society, the presidents of our Club of Social Concern at the high school, board members from our organization, some city councilors, some school committee members. So it should be a great event.
That's fantastic. I think it's always a really fun event because there's sort of this intensity around these 3 hours and doing things in conjunction with that. And I know during the telethon, there'll be all kinds of easy ways for people to make donations. For those who might want to donate ahead of time so they don't forget, like someone like me who sometimes gets a little distracted, and it's a great cause. Where might they be able to get you started on that path?
Yeah, so they can donate now at our website, socialconcern.org. There's also an email going out to our mailing list today, which has a QR code to donate. And then obviously we'll accept cash and check donations to our Merrimack Street address.
That's fantastic. Well, we wish you great luck. I know the telethon is a really strong success every year, and I'm sure this year our community will come out in force and support the important work that happens there. For those who are unfamiliar with council, so we've been talking about the food pantry component of the work that you do. But Amanda, before I let you go, maybe you could just remind us of the other work that the council does as well.
Yes, we do subsidized affordable childcare for ages 0 through 5. We have an in-house children's center, and then we also do our family childcare system, which is sending kids out to daycares in people's homes. We also do information and referral services. So if someone comes to us with any need, we direct them to where they need to go. And we have parenting education programs as well.
The parenting education programs were new to me. I just learned about them last week when Jessie came to sit with me. I was super excited to learn something new. I thought I knew it all, and I didn't. So thank you both for joining us. And as always, Woburn, thank you for tuning in and continue to take good care of each other.